Welcome to the deep dive today. We're going to be exploring Harvey MacKay's, the MacKay MBA of selling in the real world.
Okay.
And, it's a pretty dense book, so we
Yeah.
wanted to kind of go through and see what we could pull out,
Right.
and share with everybody some of the best advice and tips and tricks for succeeding in the real world, and especially, with work and sales and things like that.
Well, it's interesting because, he goes beyond just the typical, sales tactics
Right.
and really gets into principles of success that apply to almost every aspect of life.
Yeah.
So like building relationships and handling rejection, understanding human nature and
Yeah.
the impact of the internet and perhaps most importantly, character.
Yeah, and we have some pretty incredible stories to unpack. Like, one is about a World War II hero, Amador Barbosa.
Okay.
And it's pretty intense. He literally throws himself in front of a truck full of explosive to save his comrades from a landmine.
Oh, my goodness.
And, it's just an incredible act of loyalty. And it really makes you think, about the lengths that people will go to for loyalty.
Yeah. That story highlights something really crucial for you in sales.
Fair.
That loyalty isn't just about these grand gestures.
Right.
It's about those small actions you take consistently.
Yeah.
It's showing up for your clients, even in small ways.
Right.
That's what builds trust over time. And ultimately, that's the foundation of any successful relationship.
That's a great point. And it's a reminder, too, that even the smallest actions can have a huge impact.
Absolutely.
So we've got loyalty as this foundation.
Yeah.
What else does MacKay highlight as being critical for success?
Self-belief.
Okay.
He uses a great example of Roger Bannister breaking the 4-minute mile.
Right.
So for years, people thought it was physically impossible.
Right.
But Bannister proved them wrong.
Yeah.
He shattered this mental barrier
Right.
that had held runners back for so long.
Wow.
And what's interesting for you is that, once he did it, others quickly followed suit.
So it wasn't just about the physical strength. It was about proving what's possible.
Yeah.
That makes me wonder, what limiting beliefs might I be holding on to? Like,
Right.
what goals seem impossible that I could actually achieve if I shifted my thinking?
Exactly. And
Yeah.
MacKay says, selling yourself is one of the toughest sells.
Right.
And you can't effectively sell a product or a service if you don't genuinely believe in the company, the product, and yourself.
Right.
It's all connected.
Okay, so we've got loyalty,
Yeah.
self-belief,
Uh-huh.
but let's get into some practical techniques.
Okay.
The book is packed with advice on mastering the art of the sale.
Right.
What stood out to you?
Well, MacKay emphasizes the art of conversation.
Okay.
It's about listening more than you speak.
Yeah.
Asking insightful questions to really uncover those needs.
Right.
And being attuned to those nonverbal cues.
He even cautions against relying solely on, basic website research. So it
Yeah.
sounds like you've got to dig a little deeper to truly understand your client.
You do.
How deep are we talking here?
Well, MacKay believes you should go beyond the surface level research
Okay.
and truly understand your client's values, motivations,
Okay.
even their fears.
Yeah.
The more you know,
Right.
the better you can tailor your approach.
Okay.
He also reminds us about the importance of appearance.
He doesn't mean we all have to be like supermodels, right?
No, not at all.
I'm pretty comfortable in my, jeans and t-shirt.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
It's about setting the right signals.
Okay.
Are you dressed appropriately for the client and situation? Are you organized and prepared?
Okay.
Do you look and act like someone who respects their time?
Right.
These small details really speak volumes about your professionalism.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about showing respect and attention to detail.
Yeah.
Now we can't talk about sales without acknowledging the digital age.
Right.
How does MacKay view the role of the internet in all of this?
He dedicates a significant portion of the book to the internet's impact and how it's changing the game. He even talks about using the internet for what he calls ethical bribes.
Ethical bribes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm intrigued. What are those?
Well, think of it as providing value up front.
Okay.
It could be a free template, a helpful checklist,
Okay.
a webinar on an industry-specific challenge for you.
Mhm.
Maybe it's sharing a case study that showcases how your product solved a problem similar to what your potential clients are facing.
Right.
The key is to offer something genuinely valuable
Okay.
in exchange for their contact information.
So it's not just a giveaway.
Right.
It's a strategic way to position yourself as an expert and build trust.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
But with all this emphasis on the internet, does MacKay think that in-person interactions are still relevant?
That's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
Because while he acknowledges the internet's power, he firmly believes that sales still require flesh and blood interactions.
Okay.
He compares it to caterpillars turning into butterflies. That transformation from a prospect to a loyal customer often requires trust and connection built through personal interaction.
So it's like technology can enhance the process.
Yes.
But can't replace that core of human connection.
Right.
But the sales world is full of rejection. How do you bounce back from that?
He tells a great story about a new salesperson walking into a meeting with a hostile CEO.
Okay.
The CEO basically says, I don't like your company, your products, and I don't like you.
Wow.
The salesperson, unfazed, just smiles and says,
Okay.
gee, I wish I'd met you earlier. Maybe we could have changed your mind.
Wow, that's not taking rejection personally? Is that what MacKay recommends?
Absolutely. It's about resilience.
Okay.
Staying positive, even when you're faced with negativity.
Okay.
And he really emphasizes the importance of visualizing success.
Okay.
He uses the example of golfer James Naismith,
Okay.
who for 7 years mentally practiced his game without ever touching a club.
Wow.
When he returned to the course, he saw significant improvement.
So he's saying that we can use visualization to improve our performance.
Absolutely.
In sales work.
Yes.
Even our personal lives.
Yeah, imagine yourself succeeding in specific situations.
Okay.
Visualize the details.
Okay.
How it looks, how it feels, even how it sounds.
Right.
By repeatedly running these mental movies,
Right.
you can boost your confidence
Right.
and prepare yourself for real-world challenges.
It's pretty amazing. It's like we often underestimate the power of our own minds.
You do.
But it's not all about positive thinking, right? What about those times when we stumble?
Well, MacKay highlights the importance of humility.
Okay.
He contrasts it with the dangers of arrogance.
Okay.
He shares stories of individuals whose inflated egos sabotaged their success.
Right.
He has a great saying, it's better humble than stumble.
I love that.
Yeah.
Humility allows us to stay open to feedback, learn from mistakes,
Yeah,
and constantly improve.
absolutely.
And that ties into his idea that success is a journey, not a destination.
Right.
It's about continuous growth and improvement.
Exactly. And that's where lifelong learning comes into play.
Okay.
He argues that in today's world, we can't afford to get complacent.
Right.
We need to consistently learn, adapt, and evolve to stay ahead of the curve.
Okay.
This could be reading industry publications, attending conferences, even taking online courses.
Right.
It's about investing in yourself and staying relevant.
So inspiring. It's like a call to action for all of us.
It is.
So far, we've covered loyalty, self-belief, mastering conversation, the internet rejection, visualization, humility, and lifelong learning.
Right.
I'm sensing a pattern here.
Yeah, it all points to a deeper theme that MacKay explores,
Okay.
the human element and the power within.
Okay.
So he emphasizes passion, finding work you love,
Right.
and really tapping into those core values that drive you.
I love how it's not just about closing deals. It's about living a fulfilling life.
Absolutely.
And speaking of fulfillment, he has a section on the 7 C's of success.
Yes.
I'm curious to know what those are.
The 7 C's are competence constraints, concentration, common sense commitment, courage, and creativity.
Okay. That's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
Let's start with competence.
Okay.
What does he have to say about that?
He emphasizes being really good at what you do,
Right.
saying that excellence is really the foundation for advancement.
Right.
He says, the person who knows how will always have a job, and the person who knows why will always be the boss.
So it's about going beyond just knowing how to do something.
Yeah,
It's about understanding why things work the way they do.
exactly.
Okay, what about the next C, constraints?
Well, MacKay argues that 80% of the obstacles to success are actually internal.
Okay.
It's about identifying and overcoming those self-limiting beliefs, fears,
Okay.
and self-sabotaging behaviors.
That's powerful. We're often our own worst enemies.
We are.
So we've got competence and constraints.
Yeah.
What about concentration? How does that fit in?
He believes concentration is essential for peak performance. He tells a story about golfer Ben Hogan being so focused on this crucial putt
Okay.
that he didn't even hear a loud train whistle.
Wow, that's some intense focus.
Yeah, like being in the zone where nothing else matters.
Yeah.
And then there's common sense.
Okay.
Sometimes, the simplest solutions are the best.
Yeah.
MacKay reminds us to trust our gut instincts.
Okay, so we've got competence constraints, concentration, and common sense.
Yeah.
What about the remaining 3? Commitment, courage, and creativity.
So commitment is about staying dedicated to your goals.
Okay.
Seeing things through even when you're facing challenges.
Right.
He's a big believer in persistence.
Right.
Courage is the willingness to take risks,
Okay.
to step outside your comfort zone,
Okay.
embrace new challenges.
Right.
He even says that courage is the quality most in demand and least in supply.
It takes courage to chase your dreams and put yourself out there, especially in sales.
It does.
And finally, creativity.
Yeah. MacKay believes that creativity is essential for staying ahead of the curve and coming up with those innovative solutions.
So the 7 C's offer a framework for success.
Yes.
But as we discussed, success is a journey.
Right.
And this is where MacKay's second 10 commandments of selling come in, right?
They do.
I'm still curious about what those are all about.
Yeah, these commandments are practical guidance for navigating that journey
Okay.
and making those ethical and fulfilling choices along the way.
Second 10 commandments. That's intriguing.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example of one of these commandments and
Sure.
how it applies to someone like me?
Absolutely. One commandment is, thou shalt not be fearful.
Okay.
And this connects directly to overcoming those limiting beliefs
Okay.
and taking bold action.
That makes sense. We've talked a lot about the power of self-belief.
Hmm.
What's another commandment that stands out?
Thou shalt think great thoughts,
Okay.
which ties into visualization and setting those ambitious goals.
So it's not just about thinking positively. It's
Right.
about having a vision for the future. These commandments sound pretty powerful.
Yeah.
But I'm eager to learn more.
Yeah. And another commandment that you might find helpful is, thou shalt not try to get something for nothing,
Okay.
which emphasizes hard work, dedication, and creating genuine value.
Right.
There are no shortcuts to lasting success.
I like that it's a good reminder that success requires effort. So we've covered a lot of ground. Loyalty, self-belief, practical techniques,
Yeah.
the internet's impact, resilience, humility, lifelong learning, and even a glimpse into the second 10 commandments.
Right.
What else can we dig into from MacKay's insights?
Well, he dives into some fascinating observations about human nature.
Okay.
He has a whole chapter titled The Average American Thinks He Isn't,
Okay.
where he explores self-esteem and its impact on success.
That sounds intriguing. What's his take on the average American?
He argues that most people underestimate their abilities and potential,
Okay.
and this lack of self-belief can really hold us back from achieving our goals.
I can definitely relate to that. I've had moments of self-doubt, especially when facing new challenges.
Yeah, he emphasizes cultivating a healthy sense of self-esteem
Okay.
based on recognizing our strengths and accomplishments.
Okay.
He even quotes Will Rogers, "If you done it, it ain't bragging."
So it's about owning our accomplishments and celebrating our wins.
Yeah,
But not in an arrogant way.
right.
What are some practical ways to boost self-esteem?
Well, MacKay encourages focusing on your successes no matter how small.
Okay.
Take pride in what you do, he says,
Okay.
whether it's washing dishes or running a major company.
Okay.
It's about recognizing the value you bring to everything you do.
It's easy to fall into that comparison trap and feel inadequate,
Right.
but it sounds like true self-esteem comes from within.
It does.
Recognizing your unique strengths and contribution.
Exactly. Now, shifting gears a bit, MacKay also dives into the power of networks,
Okay.
something you mentioned you wanted to improve on.
Yes.
He has a chapter called Networks Have Power Ratings, where he explores different types of networks and their impact on success.
This is something I've always struggled with. Networking feels forced sometimes,
Yeah,
but I know it's important.
right.
What are some of MacKay's insights on building a strong network?
Well, he emphasizes building genuine relationships,
Okay.
both within and outside your industry.
Okay.
He suggests getting involved in trade organizations, community groups,
Okay.
or activities that align with your interests.
Okay.
It's about connecting with people who share your values and who can support your growth.
So it's not just about collecting business cards at events.
No.
It's about finding those authentic connections and building mutually beneficial relationships.
Exactly. And MacKay even points out that networking can provide valuable market insights.
Okay. How so?
Well, attending industry events or conferences can give you a sense of emerging trends,
Okay.
competitive landscapes, even potential challenges or opportunities you might not have been aware of.
It sounds like networking is more than just building connections. It's about gathering intelligence and staying ahead of the curve.
It is. And he also highlights the value of networking for recruitment.
Okay.
So industry events can be excellent places to connect with potential candidates for open positions,
Right.
or even scout out future talent. It's about building relationships with talented individuals in your field,
Okay.
even if there isn't an immediate need.
So networking isn't just about what you can get,
Right.
but also about how you can contribute and support others in your network.
Absolutely.
I'm starting to see the value in a whole new light.
That's great. And this leads to another crucial aspect that MacKay emphasizes throughout the book.
Okay.
His character, he has a whole chapter dedicated to it.
Yeah.
Make character your best characteristic.
Yeah.
Why does he place so much emphasis on character?
Well, he argues that character is the foundation of trust and respect,
Okay.
which are essential for building lasting relationships in business and in life.
Right.
He even says character is what you are in the dark. It's about doing the right thing even when no one is watching.
Exactly.
It's about integrity and ethical behavior.
Yeah. He emphasizes honesty, integrity, and ethical behavior.
Right.
Even when it's difficult.
Okay.
He believes that the make money at all costs mentality is no longer acceptable.
Right.
Especially with today's heightened awareness of ethical breaches.
So it's not just about avoiding legal trouble.
Right.
It's about building a business on values that inspire trust and loyalty.
Yeah.
That resonates with me.
He shares examples of companies that go above and beyond in terms of ethical behavior.
Okay.
Donating a portion of their profits to charity.
Okay.
Or offering employees paid time off for volunteer work.
It's inspiring to see businesses aligning their actions with their values.
It is.
It seems like ethical leadership is becoming more important than ever.
Yeah. MacKay believes it pays off in terms of customer loyalty, employee engagement.
Okay.
And long-term sustainability.
Yeah.
It's about doing well by doing good.
Okay. We've covered self-esteem networks and the importance of character.
Yeah.
What else does MacKay explore in this treasure trove of a book?
Well, he spends quite a bit of time discussing the evolving nature of sales in the digital age.
Okay.
He has a chapter titled Sales Need Flesh and Blood,
Okay.
where he explores this tension between technology and human connection.
We touched on this earlier. He believes face-to-face interaction is still crucial,
Yeah.
even with the rise of online tools and platforms.
Absolutely. He argues that technology can enhance communication and streamline processes,
Okay.
but it can't replace that human touch.
He compares it to ATMs not replacing bank tellers,
Right.
and online travel agencies not eliminating the need for travel agents.
Exactly.
Technology changes the landscape, but
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily replace that core human element.
Right. He believes technology will continue to reshape the sales landscape.
Okay.
But human interaction will always be essential for building relationships, understanding needs, and closing deals.
That makes sense. Technology should complement our skills, not replace them.
It should.
So how do we leverage technology without losing that personal connection?
He suggests using technology strategically
Okay.
to enhance your communication and make yourself more accessible to clients.
Okay.
So respond promptly to emails, utilize video conferencing for virtual meetings,
Right.
leverage social media to build your network and share valuable content.
It's about using technology to work smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
Does he give any specific advice on using technology for sales?
Well, he focuses on the principle of pre-qualification,
Okay.
using technology to identify and target the most promising prospects.
Okay.
He compares it to real estate,
Okay.
saying, just like the three most important things in real estate are location, 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 the three most important things in sales are pre-qualification, pre-qualification.
That's a great analogy. It's about focusing our efforts where they'll have the most impact.
Exactly. And while he doesn't get into specific technologies, because they evolve so rapidly,
Right.
he encourages embracing new tools and platforms that can help you connect with clients and build your business.
Right.
He uses Steve Jobs as an example of someone who constantly pushed the boundaries of technology.
It's a good reminder to stay curious and embrace innovation.
Yeah.
But does he have any concerns about technology in sales?
Well, he does caution against becoming too reliant on technology,
Okay.
worrying that some salespeople are spending more time in front of their computers than interacting with clients.
Right.
He says the salesperson isn't instead she's in her car or in front of her PC.
So it's about finding that balance between technology and human interaction.
It is.
Using technology as a tool to enhance our ability to connect with clients.
Absolutely. And that leads to another crucial aspect, customer service.
He has a chapter dedicated to it, customer service. The digital retread.
Yeah.
What are some of his key takeaways in this digital age?
He argues that customer service is more important than ever. Negative reviews and complaints can spread like wildfire online.
Right.
He mentions the story of Dave Carroll, the musician who wrote a song about United Airlines breaking his guitar.
That song went viral.
It did.
And became a cautionary tale for businesses.
Yes.
About the power of social media and the importance of addressing customer complaints.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about understanding that customer service is everyone's job.
Okay.
And every interaction is an opportunity to build or damage your reputation.
So how can businesses improve their customer service in the digital age? Does
Well,
MacKay offer any practical tips?
he suggests using social media to monitor customer feedback
Okay.
and respond promptly to complaints.
Okay.
Be proactive in reaching out to dissatisfied customers
Okay.
and finding ways to make things right.
Okay.
He even suggests creating online communities where customers can connect and share experiences.
He talks about turning negative experiences into positive ones, right?
He does.
It's not just about fixing a problem, but about exceeding expectations
Yeah.
and building loyalty.
Yes. He emphasizes having systems in place
Okay.
to address complaints swiftly and effectively,
Okay.
and empowering employees to solve problems without layers of bureaucracy.
Empowering employees to take ownership of customer issues can make a huge difference.
It can.
Does he offer any other tips for making customer service better?
Yeah, he encourages creativity in soliciting feedback,
Okay.
like including self-addressed postcards and products.
Okay.
He also highlights the importance of training employees to handle complaints effectively
Right.
and turning those negative experiences into positive ones.
It's about going above and beyond to show customers they're valued.
It is.
Now, we've talked a lot about the mechanics of sales.
Yeah,
But what about the driving force behind it all?
that brings us to another essential ingredient for success.
Okay. Passion.
He dedicates a whole chapter to that, fall in love with your job.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear what he has to say about passion.
Well, he argues that passion is essential for staying motivated.
Overcoming challenges and achieving long-term success.
Okay.
People who love their work are more engaged, more productive, and more fulfilled.
That makes sense, but what if you don't love your job?
Yeah.
What advice does he have for those feeling stuck or uninspired?
He suggests trying to find aspects of your work that you enjoy
Okay.
and focusing on those.
Okay.
He also encourages thinking about how your work contributes to a larger purpose.
Okay.
You know?
It's about finding meaning in what we do,
Yeah.
even if it's not our dream job.
Right.
He says something like, work isn't work if you like it, right?
Exactly. He reminds us that even jobs we love will have their challenges.
Right.
It's about maintaining perspective and focusing on the positive aspects.
Right.
He even uses his friend Mitchell Model as an example.
Okay.
Model owns over 140 sporting goods stores,
Wow.
and he's so passionate about it that he's afraid to sleep
Wow.
for fear of missing something.
Wow, that's dedication.
Yeah,
It sounds like he's truly found his calling.
he has, and MacKay encourages us all to find ours,
Okay.
even if it means taking risks, making changes, or stepping outside our comfort zones.
It's not just about finding a job,
Right.
but finding our purpose and pursuing it with passion.
Absolutely.
That's a powerful message. So we've got finding our purpose and pursuing it with passion. It's a great reminder that we have more control over our careers and our lives than we often realize. But change can be scary. Does MacKay address that fear?
He does. He has a whole chapter titled, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life.
Yeah.
He argues that our thoughts really shaped our reality, and by changing them, we can change our lives.
It's like that saying, is the glass half full or half empty?
Right.
You know, our perspective really shapes our experiences.
Exactly. And MacKay encourages cultivating a positive mindset and focusing on the opportunities that change presence.
Right.
He points out that, pessimists often see difficulties where optimists see possibilities.
Does he talk about the benefits of optimism? I've heard it can have a real impact on success.
He cites research showing that optimists tend to be more successful in various fields, including business, for example. He mentions a MetLife study where optimists outsold pessimists by a significant margin.
That's pretty compelling evidence. So how do we become more optimistic? Does he offer any tips?
He suggests practicing gratitude, focusing on the positive aspects of your life and surrounding yourself with positive people. He also encourages challenging negative thoughts and reframing them in a more constructive light.
So it's about taking control of our thoughts and choosing to see the world through a lens of possibility. This reminds me of something MacKay said. If what you see is what you get, what will you get? It's a powerful question that challenges us to examine our perceptions and choose to see the world in a way that empowers us.
That's a great point. And it leads to another key theme, taking action.
He has a chapter called Your Positive Self Right Underneath Your Fingers. What's the message there?
Well, he encourages us to stop waiting for the perfect moment and start taking action towards our goals today. You know, he uses the analogy of a musician who has everything they need right underneath their fingers,
Right.
but is too afraid to use them.
I remember him telling a story about Jamie Foxx and Ray Charles.
Yes, when Fox was struggling to play this difficult piece on the piano, Ray Charles encouraged him, saying, "It's right underneath your fingers, baby. That's all you have to understand. Everything is right underneath your fingers."
It's a beautiful metaphor for the potential we all possess, but sometimes fail to tap into. It's easy to get caught up in fear and self-doubt.
Exactly. And MacKay argues that we often hold ourselves back because of these limiting beliefs, so he urges us to overcome them and start taking action, even if it's just one small step at a time.
It's about building momentum and realizing that action creates more action. It can be a powerful cycle. Does he talk about dealing with setbacks that can be a big obstacle to taking action? He addresses that in his chapter, Lose the Right Battles to Win the War. He argues that setbacks and failures are inevitable, but should be seen as opportunities to learn and grow. He uses the example of Mickey Mantle, one of the greatest baseball players of all time, who struck out over 1,700 times in his career.
That's a lot of strikeouts, but it's a good point. Even the most successful people experience setbacks.
Exactly. MacKay's point is that successful people don't let those setbacks define them. They learn from their mistakes, they adapt, and they keep striving. He even tells a story about his son attempting to climb a mountain in Colorado. He failed the first time but trained harder and succeeded the following year, proving that perseverance pays off.
It's a powerful reminder that we shouldn't be afraid to fail. It's often a necessary part of the journey.
Exactly. He encourages us to see those setbacks as stepping stones to success. He has a great saying, when you're pinned to the mat, the only place to look is up.
It's about resilience, maintaining that belief in ourselves, even when things get tough. But even with resilience, there are those four-letter words that can hold us back, right?
You're thinking of his chapter, watch out for these four-letter words. He cautions against using words like can't, need, hate, and quit. They limit our thinking and can become self-fulfilling prophecies.
It's about replacing that negative self-talk with positive affirmations and empowering language.
Exactly. It's like retraining your brain for success. He particularly highlights the word need. He believes that focusing on wants rather than needs is more empowering because wants are driven by desire and motivation.
So it's about shifting our perspective and focusing on what we want to achieve rather than what we feel we lack.
Precisely, and that leads to another crucial aspect of success that MacKay emphasizes, taking care of yourself.
He dedicates a chapter to this as well. Never look a gift meal in the mouth. Why is self-care so important for success?
Well, he argues that to be successful in work and life, you need to prioritize your well-being. Physical, mental, and emotional. He emphasizes getting enough sleep, eating healthy, exercising, and taking breaks when needed. He even shares a story of a successful realtor named Joan, who manages to balance a busy career with an active family life and charity work.
It sounds like she's a master of work-life integration.
She is. And MacKay reminds us that we don't have to sacrifice our well-being for success. In fact, taking care of ourselves allows us to show up more fully in all areas of our lives.
He also talks about the importance of self-talk, right? How the conversations we have with ourselves impact our mindset and behavior.
Absolutely. He encourages replacing negative self-talk with positive affirmations. Focus on your strengths, celebrate your wins, and believe in your abilities.
It's about being our own best cheerleader.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And finally, he talks about the importance of lifelong learning. He has a chapter called Those Who Don't Know, They Don't Know. What's the key takeaway there?
It sounds like he's saying the more we learn, the more we realize how much we don't know.
That's it. He encourages us to stay curious, embrace new experiences, and never stop seeking knowledge. He believes lifelong learning is essential for staying ahead of the curve, adapting to change, and reaching your full potential.
This deep dive into Harvey MacKay's The MacKay MBA of Selling in the Real World has been packed with insights. It feels like a roadmap for success, not just in sales, but in life.
I agree. His advice is timeless and applicable to anyone striving for achievement and fulfillment. And what I find fascinating is how he weaves together practical techniques with a focus on character, passion, and self-belief.
That's what makes his work so compelling. It's not just about closing deals, but about becoming a better version of yourself in the process.
Exactly. So a final thought for you to consider. MacKay talks a lot about finding work you love. But what if your true passion lies outside your current work? Can you use his principles to bridge that gap, either by bringing more passion into your current role or pursuing your passions outside of work?
That's a great question to reflect on, and it's a reminder that we have the power to create the lives we want. We encourage you to explore MacKay's book further and see how you can apply these powerful insights to your own journey. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe and check the link in the description to get your Pareto pack. many guides to learn more from this and all the other books